Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where we are currently doing very well here actually. Let's hop into the factions map mode, and we can see we've almost pushed them out of Africa. We have finished taking over Scotland, and do these guys have anything assigned to them? They don't, and we should actually send them, this is going to take them a while to get there, but that's okay. We should send them over this direction, I feel like, and have them maybe invade the Republic of Malaysia over here. So let's go ahead and get that started. We'll just have them invade, say, this area right along this coast, like that. So they can go ahead and do that. It'll take them a while to get there, but it'll also take a while for that to be finished. So that's great. As far as our pressure over here goes, we are moving in, and this is all taken over at this point. And what do we actually have going on over here? Oh yeah, we moved a number of these units back into the Coast Guard over here. That's right. Yeah, and now we just need to finish pushing in over here. And that's just going to be this army here. Once they arrive, that shouldn't be a big deal to deal with. If we have to nuke it, we have to nuke it, but I think that'll be fine. On the Asian front, things are pretty much over. We are still besieging Hong Kong, and I would like to get some air superiority over this area. So we're going to select these guys, and we're going to tell them, hop on over to southern China for right now. And the rest of these, I guess, can stay for now. We're just pushing down south with this force, and this is a wild overreaction. This is way more than we need here. There's no doubt about that, but we're just going to move in here, and then we're going to think about doing some invasions. So as far as these invasions over here, they can go ahead and execute that when they're ready. We have insufficient naval supremacy for some of these. Yeah, that's not super shocking. I mean, yeah, this is a thing. We're going to need to get some navies down here. No doubt about that. But we'll see what ends up happening there for now. We've got a few things to clean up before we really start working on that. We also need to start thinking about what our invasion of North America is going to look like. This stalemate here is clearly unacceptable. And it's very, very clear to me that it's going to take a long time for us to get the proper air superiority up here. That's okay. I don't mind that. That just means that this can't be our invasion vector. We could invade from Cuba and do a naval invasion into, like, Florida, take over all of this territory. That's an option. This is 3 modern tank brigades. That's quite a lot, actually. We're going to toss them in just over here, though. That'll be fine. So, I mean, this is a potential invasion vector here. We can hit Mexico, we can hit Florida, we can hit Texas, we can hit the rest of the Caribbean from this. That's all possibilities. Or we could come up here and attack via Alaska. There is a crossing here and a crossing here leading directly into the mainland. That's a possibility. We would have to take over these islands separately. That shouldn't be that big of a deal, though. And then from there, we can push in and take a somewhat wide front here, push across Canada, and this front's going to get real wide real fast. Of course, even if we push in from Florida, this front gets real wide real fast as well. Pushing in this direction, yeah, same problem. We're going to have really wide fronts here. Now, we had wider fronts, I feel like the front that went basically from here to here. That was a really wide front as well. That's like a comparably wide front, I feel like. So that's the thing. We have 3 more modern tank brigades here. Wow. Okay. We're going to move one of them into, I don't know, one of these Coast Guards. The Cuban Coast Guard could, I guess, use some more help. Sure, that'll be fine. We'll start working on Coast Guards at this point, I feel like. It's fine. So I do want to finish off Africa over here. And I think if we drop a pair of nukes, I think that'll probably do the trick. Actually, there's quite a number of enemies here too. Let's go ahead and drop a nuke there. Okay, let's do another round. Because there's definitely a lot of troops here. Yeah, that's more like it. Excellent. So in we go. And we should have no real problem with this, in theory. They're going to have a hard time restoring those supplies, and that is magnificent. As far as this situation over here goes with our Navy, supremacy in these locations is, shall we say, low. Let's go ahead and pull them out of the East China Sea for now. What happens if we just leave them in the South China Sea? Well, Canada and Philippines both have quite a number of ships over here. We may want to actually just have them in the East China Sea for now and see about this invasion of Taiwan. That might be for the best. Oh, we've taken Hong Kong. Perfect. So this army at this point can then think about an invasion itself. And I want to think about an invasion of Netherlands Borneo over here. Ideally, landing like on this coast, but that's awful up there. We'll do something... Actually, no, this isn't ideal at all. Over here would be ideal. Like that. Okay, we'll start planning that. Wonderful. We're still pushing our way in over here, and these guys, they're going to be a lot of naval invasions as well. We're going to hold a patriotic speech before the mutineers. We've got plenty of political power to make that happen. And this should be no problem over here. Excellent. So we have an invasion of Philippines, we have an invasion of Borneo, we have an invasion of Malaysia over here. We have additional troops coming in, and we'll just toss those into the Cuban Coast Guard. The South American, how many does it technically need? 152. So we can actually move 3 of these away. And how much does Cuba really need? 10. Okay. That's not too bad. We're just going to start working on filling these out again a bit. Okay, so we've got invasions going on over here. We should probably get invasions over in these locations. Definitely over here, over here. Our main problem over here in the Pacific Ocean is going to be one of Navy. Now, I still want to hold the Cape Verde Plain for the moment. We're going to need to finish tossing America out of here. But we're going to be able to pull this Navy here very shortly. Let's give one more nuke, and those are stack wipes. Beautiful. At this point, this Navy can be pulled. And we're going to send them over to the Tasman Sea. And we're going to pull them out of the Cape Verde Plain. They're in combat right now. That's fine. They'll get there eventually. Okay. So this army is probably going to be set up. Yeah, I think this army is going to be set up for naval invasions. So let's take a look at what we've got over here. Okay. We'll have them plan a naval invasion from here to here. Like that. And we want everything assigned to this. What? 13? I have 23 selected. Why is this only 13 units? Okay. That seems odd. Okay, so I guess we'll select all of these that don't have orders assigned and try to... Yeah, they can't be assigned in. Huh. Why can't they be assigned? Can they not arrive here? They just don't have orders assigned. I'm confused. Let's try deleting this. And doing it with everybody assigned here. 13 divisions. We're not short on convoys. Maybe we have a limit of how many naval invasions we can plan at once? Like how many units we can invade with navally? That might be a possibility. And if that's the case, then I want everybody to, like, come down here. And yeah, I'm aware of that. Just come down here in area defense. Just be in this vicinity for right now. Very awkward. Okay, this should be in the Arabian Coast Guard here, which is here. Perfect. Okay. Sounds good. So we've kicked them out of Africa at this point. No more American troops over here. At least for now. That said, we have this fully blockaded over this way, unless there's a connection here, but no, there is not. So this should be sufficiently blockaded that they're not going to be coming this way. They are potentially coming up over here. I'm wondering where... Ah, we're repairing. Okay. This should be blockaded eventually, but we're stretched pretty thin navally right now. And that's something we may want to think about changing. How are we doing on steel? Let's see. We've got a lot of steel, actually. So we probably want to consider building a bunch more cruisers, destroyers, and subs. Let's go ahead and queue up like 3 lines of each. So cruiser hull. Oh, this goes back up to the top every time. That's vaguely annoying. Cruiser hull and cruiser hull. And let's also get some destroyers and subs in here. So 1944 Mark IV. I'm going to do 3 of these. 2 and 3. And also our submarines, which are, of course, down here. 1944 Mark II. Okay. We'll get 3 of those queued up. And this is probably not going to be enough to use up all of our dockyards. But let's see how our steel is sitting after this. This is going to use up a lot of steel. Yeah, this is going to use up all of the steel that we've got right now. So I'm comfortable with that for now. Do we have the ability to do any prospecting for resources? No, we don't. Okay, sounds good. We're working on restoring order in the military. Our major problem right now is one of Navy in this region, and we need to figure out how we want to address this. I mean, first off, just stepping up our production will help. There's no doubt about that. And we may actually want to cut production on some things like, well, some of the things requiring aluminum. I mean, even steel we might want to cut some of. It's not like we're short on very many things right now. And we have a lot of fighter threes. Like, we're producing plenty of those. I'm going to cut this back so that we are no longer negative in our aluminum, like that. We don't need to be producing that many fighter threes, so we'll cut back on that a little bit. And there's also this second line over here. We were producing like 90 per day. Slightly insane. Okay, so we are definitely winning our engagements over here in Central America. The question is, how long can America keep this up for? The fighters over here are almost all provided from the United States, so that is fine. I would like to think about getting additional planes over here. Our problem, though, is, as it has always been, one of naval bases. Let's see, we could actually up our number of jet fighters over here. These are close air support, apparently. Okay. That's at 2K. That's above cap. 1.2K. Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot that we can do over here in terms of additional air bases. We can actually upgrade this one. And we'll go ahead and do that. And, I mean, we'll get all of these going, I suppose. But they're low priority. So something kind of like this. There we go. Double check anti-air, double check radar. Radar's probably fine. Okay. We do need to queue up some infrastructure. This is all low priority stuff, though. So something kind of like that. Ooh, hello. Faroe Islands. There we go. Again, this is low priority stuff. And then we already queued up over here, looks like almost all of it. Missed a couple of locations. And there are, of course, these over here. Okay. Now, all of these guys. Here's the question. Can we plan naval invasions? Well, first off, I'm going to tell these guys to go to, like, different ports. So that they're not all in the same sort of locations. Where are you guys going? You're going there. You're going there. Okay, good. There's a port down here that we can chill at. And then for these guys, I think I'll have them come down, like, honestly, kind of over here. I mean, they don't really have a good way to get there, but they'll just transport. They can plan a naval invasion like this, and the question then becomes... Ooh, I hate that one. How many did get assigned there? Yeah, still the 13. So I'm guessing that that's the issue, is that we are at a cap of the number of invasions that we can do. Sounds great. In fact, I'm not surprised to discover that that exists. What is this invasion path, though? Besides objectively awful. Like, it was crossing multiple sea tiles. No wonder this wasn't going. Okay, we'll do something like that. That will take time to get going, but we need to establish some naval situations over here. And the question is, how exactly do we want to do that? In North Pacific? Oh, these guys are assigned over here. They should not be. They should be assigned only up here. Okay. So we've got our blockade going on of the US, and I think that we need to find fleets like this and essentially split them in half. So we're going to have the current selection of ships, and we're going to move this into a new task force. Where are these guys going to go? They are going to come over this way, and we are going to have them help out. Say, do we have anywhere where we have multiple invasions going in? Not really. We'll just have them come over here. Wait, this didn't split it in half, did it? There we go. Okay, we'll move these up to 20 again. Oh, I wanted to select these guys, put them into a new fleet, and tell them to stay over here. There we go. And then we will have them be up to 20 cruisers, 20 destroyers, and 20 submarines for now. Those are the only things that we're making at this point, is those three. So that should be fine. We'll also make sure that we have 20 here, 20 here, and 20 here. Okay. So we'll get some ships moving on over. We just need to get naval supremacy in some particular locations here. And that will be fine. We're going to have a hard time establishing naval supremacy over everywhere we need over here. But I just want to maintain our blockades over here as best as possible while we continue to clear out some of these areas. So that should, in theory, be fine. Okay, how are we doing attrition-wise over here? I know these guys aren't assigned to things, but it looks like they are clearing out, so that's good. And it'll take time for those ships to make their way on over, so that's okay as well. There are other fleets over here that we could potentially think about shrinking, but I feel like most of them shouldn't be shrunk. I mean, we could shrink that one, for sure. We could also think about an invasion of Greenland. That's not a terrible concept. You know, I hadn't considered that. Invade Greenland, and then from there we can come into Canada over this way, deal with the last bit of the Russian Federation over here, and then get our front over this way. Come in like this. The Hudson Bay keeps our front fairly narrow until we've pushed in quite far. I feel like that's not terrible. If we're going to do that, this army should be ready to be there. Or rather, this army group. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell them to area defense right here. I'm going to delete all orders like that. And we'll add to this area defense so that they're not all crammed into one location. But we'll area defense here, 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 like all of this over this way. I just want these guys over in this region. Something kind of like this. Okay. So they should all be heading over here now In theory. Emphasis on the in theory. Yeah, I think they are. So let's get them over there, and I actually really like this concept. What do we suppose the odds are that they have substantial defenses in Greenland? My guess is low. Okay. And these guys are heading out. Okay, sounds great. How are we doing down over here? Oh, did we fail our restore order in the military? We did. We had an 85% chance of succeeding that, but nope. Okay, that's going to be exciting for sure. So that means that we are going to have... Oh, we don't have a national spirit from that? Maybe we didn't fail it. Cool. I'll accept it. So these guys are going to hop into the Cuban Coast Guard here, which needs, what, 10, I think? Yeah, there we go. They'll head on up. And yeah, I really like this concept of invading via this direction because we can have a relatively short front over here, as well as having pretty decent air bases back here behind our lines. I mean, we don't really know too much. These supply zones don't look that awful. It's the kind of big supply zone here, but interesting. We might have some supply issues up over this way, except that they don't have infrastructure constructed. So that's going to be slightly exciting. This is a level 1 naval base, so there's all that. We'll have to consider that it's going to be a bit of a slow grind. We're going to need to push forward as far as we can, as fast as we can, to like this point here, defined by these two rivers. And then from there, I feel like we just hold this and build in the back line, and then we push out. That's, I think, the overall concept here. In the meantime, we're still considering invading over this way. And in fact, we have succeeded in invading over here. So let's get these guys to front line here. And they're just going to offensive line like that. In fact, it looks like we may have taken Singapore somehow. Not entirely sure how that happened. But in we go. Malaysia looks like it has no troops whatsoever over here. So that is great. At this point, this fleet no longer needs to be here. And we are going to move it... let's see here. Where's our other invasion plans at? Oh, these are all gone. Right. So we're going to want to move this fleet down over to the Tasman Sea. Okay. So down we go. And we'll just make sure that this guy's coming up here. There we go. Excellent. No problem whatsoever here. And then we're going to continue to plan to invade over this way. These guys are heading over here. Apparently Portuguese Timor is getting nuked. Cool. At this point, I feel like we can do a naval invasion, like, up over here. And that's what we'll work on. Excellent. Yeah, it looks like some repeated nuking going on over here. Yeah, that's fine. Not too concerned about that. They can do that if they want. What do we have going on over here? Yeah, we've got enough to invade Tasmania. Perfect. We're also engaging the Australian Navy over here. And we'll see how that ends up going for them. Looks like we're winning, so that is great. There's a lot of mines over here, to be sure. But Tasmania should fall quite easily. And then we're going to work on invading New Zealand. And we just need to clean up all of these little American Union things out over here while we are simultaneously working on our invasion of the American Union via Greenland. So that will be fine. This is going to pass through 2 sea zones to get up there. And we have these 3 infantry divisions. We're going to assign 1 here. We're going to assign 1 here. And then the other one we're just going to toss into the Cuban Coast Guard. Excellent. Well, this isn't awkward at all. Okay, Tasmania is ours. And with that, we're going to go ahead and naval invade from here down to here. And they can go ahead and execute that whenever they're ready. We'll assign everyone there. Excellent. And we no longer need this invasion order. Perfect. And with that, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to prepare our invasion of North America. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings. And I will see you all next time when we notice this is a thing. Hey, you. Come on over. There we go. See you all next time.